Oh, here we come. Yeah.
Welcome to Never Normal.
Yeah.
I did the old one. Whoops.
It's
That's
still
what's going to change in season 2. We're going to be more polished and it's going to be excellent. Jackie, let's talk.
Do you believe we're already in season 2? Do you guys believe it? None of us.
Do you guys believe it? This is the last episode of season 1. In season 2, I will be on the right side of the screen and Jackie will be on the left.
I will reveal what secret film I was in.
Yes. By the way, audience, Jackie, we have to talk a little bit about how we have just serendipitously snuck into each other's lives like over and over and over again in the last few years.
Wait a minute. Did you see the Cecil Hotel yet?
The what?
The Cecil Hotel. Did you watch it yet?
No. What's that?
Ugh. It's on Netflix. It's a nightmare. It gives you nightmares. It's terrible. But there's
is that the thing about the Night Stalker?
Yeah, the Night Stalker lived there. It was a place where it's a place where we have to go there. Let's go there.
Okay, let's go there. I had the funniest conversation with my roommates. For those of you guys who have been on board with us for season 1, I moved from New York to LA and I live in a co-living artist community. For like when I lived by myself for all of these years. At any rate, I lived with like a bunch of 20-somethings and we were talking about this very thing, the Night Stalker, how like he didn't discriminate and all of this stuff, and then like the conversation led into the fact that like he was so creepy because he's not a regular serial killer. And then my roommate was like, well, most serial killers have a theme and it's just like young women in their 20s. And then I had this moment, Jackie, where I was like, oh shit, for the first time in my life, I totally have the advantage. Like if a serial killer came into my co-living community and like knocked at my door, I'd be like, dude, I'm 40. I'm like wrinkly. I've lost hope. So I'm going to relinquish really quick. Like the struggle here is not going to be as good. I think you should go hang out with the 20s. Like one of the 20-somethings, they're filled with hope and brimming with possibility. You'll really fuck shit up if you go get one of them.
I feel like you and I have the energy of young people, so the serial killer would get confused, which sucks.
Totally. I mean, come on, look at us.
I know. And I got chased. I got chased in the beginning of the pandemic, and I really wanted to yell back at them, like, I'm 40-ish. Get out of here.
I know, and they're like, I'm so, look at, she's 25. Like, why me?
Somebody else, please. Not like I shouldn't have to deal with this. I was really mad.
Yeah, exactly. I was like
running backwards, like I shouldn't have to deal with this anymore.
That's really
I shouldn't have
I'm
to
40. Leave me alone.
Not fair. I was mad.
I'm largely invisible in every other place in society. Please stop chasing me, young man.
Yeah. That's so funny. But the Night Stalker killed old people.
I know that. I mean, that's what's crazy about it, right?
The Night Stalker did not give a shit. The Night Stalker's like a honey badger. He didn't give a shit. But yeah, Cecil
He's dead, right? We don't have to worry about this guy like he's dead. Yeah. Okay, cool.
He's dead.
I've not watched it because I'm just out of fear. I feel the same way about Handmaid's Tale.
You have to watch. The Handmaid's Tale is depressing as hell, and it goes so slow. But everybody said to see the end because she gets revenge. But I'm like, it's too depressing. I'm not watching it. But it's a little bit less depressing probably now because Trump's out of here.
Yeah. Although he didn't get impeached, but did we honestly think that would happen? I mean, look.
I mean, it should. It should.
It should, but I've had these moments in the last like 4 years where I'm not as shocked by what goes down. You know,
you and I are just what do we?
Yeah.
You know, like come on, because we don't have the luxury of a negative thought. So we
just don't sit with it. I mean, look, I've got to admit, I've had a lot of negative thoughts in the last couple of weeks, but I just don't attach myself to them. Like that, I actually just had a conversation that was sort of not great, like 5 minutes before this.
Oh God.
And it just dissipated. Like one of the reasons I'm happy right now is I was like looking forward to this. I feel like any conversation is a great one. Like I was able to let it go. I had this moment where I got inside and I was like, whew, that did not go the way that I wanted to. And then I was like forgiving myself because I've had this discussion. Like, I don't know if you've experienced this in your sobriety, but one of the things I learned in my sobriety is that understanding what my limitations are. I don't think that I'm sitting here as some enlightened master, but I see myself coming now. I'm at the stage in my recovery where I'm like, when I know there's things that I haven't polished or mastered, I know to not go there. And so like one of the things my sponsor has always said to me is there's a difference between reacting and responding. We talked about this before. The difference is 5 breaths, right? So this is still something that needs to be more practiced in my life. Sometimes I react more than I want to respond. And with this particular individual, I'm doing a lot of reacting. And so like I kind of knew I set the boundary. Like I literally walked into the space. And even though it didn't go well, I said to myself, just so you know, like I haven't processed this and like I'm already frustrated that I've just walked into this space. So we should not start. Like I literally like warned her, like it was I see myself coming, higher version of Renee is not present, just letting you know. Like I literally was like,
that's great.
Right? Like disclaimer, this is about to not go well. Like I literally said that. And then the conversation ensued and I got like sort of like I felt hostage. This is what happens if I set a boundary and say I don't want to be here and then you hold me hostage in that space. Girl.
Yeah. Don't cross my boundary.
Totally. But because I left that conversation. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
My boundaries are tight too.
So when I violate my own personal boundaries, like that's what happened. I got back into my house and I'm like, you know what? Even though you didn't navigate that conversation really well, what I'm proud of is you set a boundary. You weren't able to honor it, but you at least vocally said your boundary out loud.
Yeah.
And then you violated it. So that's progress, Renee. That's progress. Because usually you're just a doormat and you don't set the boundary at all. You know, so like I actually, that moment of accomplishment of my own limitation, seeing like, okay, you're getting better. You're getting better.
I think that's a good song for us. I set my boundary out loud.
I set my boundary. Anybody here have problems setting boundaries? Let's have a conversation about this. Oh, in fact, Jackie, tell me what you think about this. So those of you that are here, which is only one right now, but even those of you who are watching this back later, I want to know what you guys want to talk about. So comment, even if you're not watching this live, comment later. What do you want us to talk about? We are thinking about introducing some like fun segments, brainstorming that to get you guys involved. Do you guys want to stay as observers of this conversation, or do you guys want to be a part of it? Let us know.
And get involved. And you can ask us questions. You can ask us questions.
Yeah.
And we can use your name or leave you anonymous. Whatever, it's up to you. You are the creator.
We are co-creating together. Like, for example, Jackie and I both had screenings of our films last night. One of us had to show our boobs. Does anybody want to know which one? If you wanted to know, you would put that in the comments section.
Yeah, we're not going to tell you until...
We're not going to tell you.
Yeah.
Because we want to know who's watching. Oh, now all of a sudden 5 people are watching, girl.
Who showed their rap? Who showed their rap? Who showed
their boobs? Who showed their boobs?
Are you a boob woman? Do you like boobs?
quality, not quantity. Not that quantity can't be great, but I'm saying it's quality. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you have, I've been with a girl before that had like really large fake boobs, and it just they were like basketball. That was not. I'm not. Look, I totally believe that you can put whatever you want in your body as a woman, like be empowered. Like we all have our different reasons, but for me, that was hard for me. Like I didn't wasn't
Yeah.
really my thing. I got to be honest, it wasn't really my thing.
Yeah.
But you don't need to have big boobs. I'm not. I like women all shapes and sizes. I don't know if that's I'm a woman. I maybe like this is something we should talk about it because I feel like it's very different being a woman that's attracted to other women because I'm not attracted to women that like look like me. Like I'm not attracted to Latinas or women that are very athletic. I don't know what that is. I don't know because I don't want to feel like I'm like fucking my sister. That's weird. Where'd you go?
It's weird. My ex-wife and when we got divorced, we both dated people that look like us. Like I started dating women that look more like me, and she married a woman that looks like her.
That's so funny. But maybe I'm delusional because people have told me that I've looked like my exes, and I'm like, really? I don't see it. But apparently, some of them, I kind of looked like them. I mean, my ex was like Italian. My last ex was Italian. People thought we were sisters, and that just creeped me out because I didn't feel like we looked anything alike.
Yeah. I think deep down you have a deep attraction to your sisters and you're fighting it too much, and it's very normal.
Oh, but we're never normal.
Oh
One
yeah.
time, one of the most insulting things that ever happened to me was years and years and years ago, but I'll never forget it. Like, because I have all sisters, and like my sisters are my tribe, and I love them more than anything else in the world. And I don't remember the context of the entire conversation, but it was the most homophobic shit I'd ever heard. Somebody said to me, like, "Ooh, is that hard for you because you have sisters?" And I'm like, "Do you want to fuck your brother?" No, it's not hard for me. I'm not a pervert. It's not hard for me to have sisters because I'm.
Meanwhile, I'm like, you have an attraction to your sister. I've had a lot of no, but it's true. It's not a lesbian thing. I have a lot of heterosexual friends that have been attracted to their brother or sister, even if they're straight.
Really?
Yeah,
but siblings?
But not. I'm not. All right. I'm really putting my foot in my mouth. That
I feel like you have to clarify.
Yeah, it's not like a major attraction. Like they're like, oh my, but they felt uncomfortable because they did have an attraction and they thought it was really wrong and they were making themselves wrong when really it's like very normal. It's not normal to act on it or obsess about it, like, or if but to have like a slight thing, I think it's kind of normal, and to make it not normal makes people go crazy, kind of.
I mean, I don't want to demonize anybody. I think my family's beautiful. Like, I look at pictures of my sisters, and I'm like, my sisters are stunning, but like.
Yeah, guess what? People has no idea what she's talking about because I just know I made my friends feel better by saying it was kind of normal because they were very worried about it. But guess what? I'm an only child, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. Although my brother, who's here at Never Normal most of the time, he can't be here because it's Monday. And we normally do this on Tuesday, but because we're never normal, we switch.
We're never normal.
Never normal. It's because we are brainstorming season 2. You guys, it's going to be super fun. We appreciate you guys being on board while we went through the infancy phase of our Never Normal. Hence the child post. I don't know if you guys saw the child pictures that I put as our post for today's show, but I thought it was very apropos since this was our first season. And as kids, we're learning. And on the vlogosphere, I feel like we're learning.
I love can I tell you the day, my picture? I had made my first communion, and my mother wanted to take pictures of me outside by the tulips. And we were heading out there, and I was like, and then I looked down and I was like, will you take a picture of me like this? And I remember distinctly doing it, and I wanted it as a joke because I wasn't holy. Like I did
so precious in that.
Like I hated the Catholic Church. I hated everything. Like it just made me feel, it felt wrong. And religion still feels wrong to me. But where a higher power feels so right. But for me, I don't care if other people have religion, that's fine. But of any kind of religion or anything that's condemning other people, so that's why I don't want to condemn religion, because what I condemn is condemning other things. So But I always had that feeling, and I was in Catholic school having that feeling. But so something in me knew to do this, that I would look at it later and laugh. It's like I remember it exactly, like coming out of the screen door and being like, "Wait, can you take a picture of me like this for now?"
How old are you?
7.
7. Right, first communion. Yeah, that's like first grade. Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
Catholic too.
yeah.
I've
I
repressed
remember
so much of it.
it's so fun to look at it and remember me doing it. Like I was even a trickster then, you know?
That's
But
amazing.
and little did I know I would end up like I didn't believe in God. I didn't believe in anything. I didn't
I
believe in
was
a
such a trickster
God.
too. I remember my first communion, I turned to the priest, and you take the host or whatever, and it was like I just chewed it wrong. I didn't let it like just dissolve in my mouth like it was supposed to. So I turned to the priest and I'm like, "Do I have the body of Christ in my teeth?"
That's fantastic. I
like, I was like, "Wait, I'm sorry. I think I have Jesus in my tooth."
that's great. That is
It was
great.
so bad. And I was like 8. Like, where was my. I also remember getting kicked out of CCD, like the weekend Catholic school, um, because I like felt like I was asking important questions. I remember we were learning the 10 Commandments, and like the way that we were being taught, the way they were put on the bulletin board was like in capital letters. They're like, these are the 10 Commandments, and you don't commit adultery, and the command, and it was like all this fear, and I could feel it at like 8 years old. And I raised my hand and I said, "This seems like a really great list, but how come we don't call them the 10 Commitments? Like, why do we have to command it?" Like,
Wow, you said that?
yes. And I
That's so
remember getting
cool.
kicked out, and they're like, "Well, what did you say, young lady?" And I'm like, "I just don't." I said, "Why don't we just commit to these things instead of command it?" And then they booted me. I don't know.
Wow.
Dude, at my sister's wedding, I won't reveal who, but she got married in a Catholic church, and I was reading a portion of the Bible. And in order for me, because I was a lesbian, in order for me to read that portion of the Bible at her wedding, they had to turn the crucifix around. And I was like, because
Renee,
because I
I
was a
am so
lesbian
sorry.
on the church, like
I
on this.
am really sorry because that is not
Fucked up.
cool.
I'm
I'm
laughing
really
about it
sorry you had to
because
deal with that. Even knowing that that's wrong, cellularly, it's a shitty fucking thing, and I'm sorry. That sucks. But you can use it for comedy.
I can use it for comedy. That's
Yeah.
Brown Part of the Rainbow, actually, my comedy parody about growing up. Well, there's a portion of the song that's about. I have a line that it's hard to cope when you grow up and your family hangs pictures of the Pope, and that's like one of the shticks in the
Oh
song.
yeah.
Is that like
It's so interesting that they would. It's so interesting to me how they could think that that was okay. Like you're supposed to be teaching love.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
And I don't think
understand.
every church does that. This is why I'm like, I don't want to demonize churches. I think it was a unique
Right.
experience,
Right.
but
And I
yeah.
don't want to demonize them either, but I want to really point out love is the answer. And if you're
Love is the
and if
answer.
you hear somebody telling you something that's not loving, it's not good.
I agree. I really, really agree. In
Yeah.
fact, I feel like I'm like looking down at my phone because I had a memory on my Facebook like from a week ago that was like this cool post that was on a church, and I almost want to see if I can upload it.
Yeah, some churches, I love when churches are positive. Like the Unitarian
Yeah,
church.
yeah, it was like a post I saw and it wasn't my original post. It was like I had snatched it off
Yeah.
of like Instagram because I thought it was like magic.
Yeah.
If I can find
Yeah.
it,
Well,
I'll
and
upload
you
it.
know when if something's beautiful, it's beautiful. And if something's damning, you're not supposed to damn other things.
You're totally not. Like that's the thing. It's like I'm not a religious girl either, but like what I do think is common for the human experience is that we all contemplate our own mortality, and I think religion was created from a space of needing to understand our mortality and what happened after. And I think that principle as human beings, like we're spiritual beings put into these like temples where we have to like live this lifetime. And I think it's very, very sensical that we would contemplate our own mortality. And depending on what stimuli we get, so many religions are based on that. I think. I mean, I think all religions are based on our fear of our own mortality, and so like that to me is very human. And so I'm okay with that. I think it's gotten distorted over the years. I think when Jesus said that I am the Son of God, like to me, my interpretation of that, I don't actually disagree with that, but not as the Messiah. I think it's kind of like there's the ocean, right? And the ocean is like God. And if you take a Dixie cup and take a scoop of the ocean, you still have God in that Dixie cup because ocean. So that's what we all are. And I felt like that's what Jesus's proclamation was in that moment. Is like,
That we're
I'm
all a
God.
child of God. We're
Yeah,
all a
like you're
child of
God, I'm
God.
God. So if I say I'm God, it's not this elitist thing saying I'm God and now you're not. Like
Yeah, no,
we
that's
all
where it's
are.
all wrong. Yeah, yeah. If anybody says that they know something that other people don't, that's when it's wrong. That's when it's scary because a true leader gives everybody else the strength that they have.
Yeah, we
And
liberate people. It's not about fear. It's not about thinking we're
doesn't,
better
yeah, it
than.
doesn't lead with fear. It leads with faith and gives other people, like, lets you know we all have wings. We can all fly. Like,
Mm.
not like, watch me, I can fly. Everybody can fly. We can all fly. Hey, everybody, we can all fly. Not literally, but
Yeah, I
okay.
I agree. Like it doesn't
Yeah,
there's not like Abraham always says there's not this finite pie. We do that spiritually, financially, where we think that, oh, if you have abundance, then that takes away from my ability to have abundance. Like it's not finite. Like it's not like
right,
there's 8 slices of the pie and if you take some then I
right,
can't have it. You
right.
know what I mean? And how much more rewarding it is to celebrate other people's like success. I've even had people say about us, about this, like with limited thinking that, oh, is it hard because you guys are both like lesbians and you're comics and you're attractive? And I'm like, well, Jackie's not my competition. Like I don't
We're
see it as
angels who love
that.
each other.
Yeah, I'm like, I support her and elevate her and she elevates me. Like I don't feel like I think that's one of the reasons this is magic is that there's not this energy of like, well, if you get something then I don't have it. And like I do not feel that way at
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
And I'm like,
right.
maybe that's part of our messaging is you can be like, you can have the same kind of likeness and there's still like, you're never going to be Renee Santos and I'm never going to be Jackie Monahan. So we're like not in competition.
Right. And I want you to succeed. So
Yeah.
I feel like if anybody succeeds, we succeed. Like we're all one. It's consciousness. And right, there's
Totally.
not one thing. There's not really one thing anymore anyway. Right?
Yeah.
Like there's
Agreed.
not, like before it might have been like the only female comedian or something. Like,
Totally.
but
And
now
if I
there's
get like a huge movie deal or like a series tomorrow and make a gazillion dollars, like we're gonna like high tech produce Never Normal and then be gazillionaires
right,
together.
right, yeah. Can
So,
I be a millionaire? I want us to do a field trip to Mount Shasta.
oh my God, I've heard amazing things about it. I was trying
Let's
to
go
make a
to Mount
heart.
Shasta.
Is it open? Is society open? I love that. That's always my next question. I'm trying to make a heart. Am I just putting that on my boob? I'm sorry.
We both have to do it on our boobs. How did that happen?
Wait, you did it like this. Sarah Taylor has this really cool post where she's like doing this on the moon, like oh, like outside on the. Well, Sarah Taylor is such a goddess. She could have been on the moon when she did this symbol. It's
Let's
possible.
go to Mount
I
Shasta.
did it.
Have you ever been there to
Yay.
Mount Shasta?
Let's do this together so we can screenshot it for our
Oh
next
yeah.
edit.
Oh shit, I can't screenshot it.
No, I'll go back and do it later.
Oh, smart.
Girl, have you not been editing and doing your homework after this?
Smart. Smart. Smart.
Because then when you watch it back, you just do that
Yeah.
and then we can use it as our next template, as
So
our
smart,
post
Miss
Valentine's Day show.
Dallas.
Did everybody have a good Valentine's Day?
I did. I went on a date.
Oh, tell me all about it. I want to
I
know.
didn't like it. What didn't go well?
Oh no, do you not want to talk about it? Was it with a guy or a girl?
It was, I'm not going to tell.
Okay. We don't have to talk about it. Like
But
out in society though, like in public?
I went for a walk
I went for a walk.
in
This
Playa
is
Vista.
so funny. Look. Rita spent it not we were there, Rita, both of us. We were there. You were watching our movies.
Rita, let's talk about our movies.
Rita, what did you like about our movie? No, we're
Yeah,
like just
Rita,
looking
talk
for compliments.
about
That's
us
fine.
and our movies.
Talk about us.
I'm moving on a roll. I'm watching you guys. We are flowers.
We are
Rita,
flowers.
we're both single. Fix us up with some hot ladies.
Yeah, we're both single, Rita. You have any advice?
We want hot ladies that look like us, so we pretend
No,
they're.
I don't want them to look like
Hold on,
us.
I think it's so funny, Renee, for me to keep doing that, and you're like, "No, I don't want that at all. Like that's not what I want." And I'm like,
I
Renee,
want
I don't
anybody that
want to
doesn't look like
date. I
me.
do want to date somebody just like me.
I mean, look, I think I'm cute, but no, I'm just joking. I don't think I could date somebody like me.
Really? Where are you living now? We're
I mean,
both
I
in
love who I
LA.
am. Oh, I live in LA. La La
We're
Land.
both in LA.
Mm-mm-mm.
So am I. Rita, we're going
Wait,
dancing.
Rita, are you asking us out on a date?
Rita, the three of us are going dancing.
Let's go dancing.
I'm dying to go dancing. I can't wait.
I know, I do miss it. I really
I
do
dance
miss
at
it.
home though a lot, and I prance when I walk. Too bad. What? You're not
What's too
gonna dance
bad?
with us? Nothing's too bad, Rita. I like you both, actually. Of course you do.
Oh.
I like us both too.
I don't think that you and I could ever hook up though, Jackie, because we're too besties. It would be so awkward. Imagine if we like had to like get cast in a film as a couple. I'd be like, ooh.
That would be
How are we gonna?
okay. That would be
I mean,
fine.
I think we could do it, but
It would be weird though. We are like sisters.
yeah, it's like I feel like that in so many ways.
Yeah.
Although I do remember years ago when I saw you at a comedy show and I thought you were hot. Oh, I think it was Pride Comedy Jam, but it was a fleeting thought. It wasn't like a pursuing thought. I appreciated you, Jackie. Can I say that?
Yes, of course. I'm in New Jersey, East Coast. I'm from New Jersey. I was born there.
I lived in New Jersey for 4 years in Jersey City. What?
I was born in Wayne, New Jersey.
I did not know you were from Wayne.
I was
I thought
born.
you were from Rhode Island. I thought you were
I
a
was
New
born from
England.
Rhode Island. I had my periods in Rhode
You had
Island.
your periods in Rhode Island.
Do I remind you of Fran Drescher?
Sometimes you're friend dresser-esque.
Huh.
Rita, come out to the LA. I just want you to know that I walked the reservoir last night and it was like 65 degrees and gorgeous, and there's not snow here. I can't do another East Coast winter. I was born and raised. I'm a masshole. And I can't, like, I do not miss the winters.
Morris County. Rita, Morris County.
Oh, yeah, I love Morris County. The first time I ever went to New Jersey was Morris County.
I've been to LA. I love it there. It's magical here. Everybody's moving out, Rita. You move here because everybody's leaving.
Yeah.
Not
You
everybody.
should come.
Not us. Woohoo.
No, I just got back here a year ago. I just celebrated my year anniversary back in LA. Although I lived in LA for 13 years. And then I moved to New York City. Well, really Jersey City. I lived in actual New York City the last year that I was in New York City. I resided in the city. But before my first 4 years in the New York City area, I actually lived in Jersey City.
I lived 6 years in Manhattan, Rita, and I loved it. Rita, I loved it. New York is like, I'm in love with Manhattan.
Do it. Rita, you just affirmed that. You put that out into the universe, and now we're going to screenshot this on our show and send it to you.
I love New York.
My dream is to live there one day.
We're sandwiching you, Rita. No choice. We're sandwiching you.
We're sandwiching. Wait, we have to go this way.
We're sandwiching you. Oh, we're sandwiching you, Rita. Rita, you're in between us.
You're in between our hands right now.
Rita, we got you. Rita, we got you. There's Tay Tay. Hi, Tay.
What's up?
I've been on Ellen DeGeneres and Dancing with the Stars, People's Choice Awards, a couple other talk shows. I'm serious. My long-term plan is to move there. I don't have any strings here since my mom passed in November. Whoa.
I'm sorry to hear that. But sometimes things happen in life to liberate us, and that's beautiful, and you should come out here.
We're sorry about your mom.
What's up?
New York is in the house. Rita, we're sorry about your mom, but we're excited you're going to move here at the same time.
Yeah, really should honor that. Sometimes that like gnawing tells you that you're supposed to do it.
My niece is now 14. Are you going to bring her? Tay Tay! Tay Tay! Hi, Tay.
Hey, Tay.
New York is the best. So I love
I
California
do
and I
love New
love
York.
New York City. But I
I
so
can't
I like
really
New York City better
comment.
than LA. But I like California better than New York.
4 more years and you're free now, Rita. I understand what you're saying, like actually the ability to go. Sometimes you have to plant that seed before you can like I get it. I'm having this issue with my living circumstance right now. Like sometimes you just kind of got to lean in and be in the trenches a little bit, work through some stuff, align your life, and you put it out into the universe first and then it'll
Mm.
occur to you, because sometimes that's also not why it's not about like sometimes I was like, oh, I'm not being courageous, I'm not making the courageous choice and just going even though I have this instinct. And I part of maturity is that like you can't just like shit all over your life. Like sometimes like I still manage a Starbucks and like I don't want that to be my story forever, but like especially with COVID and all the stuff going down and people being unemployed and my tour being canceled, like what are you laughing at?
Shitting all over
Anyway,
your life.
you're shitting all over my life. I realized that like I can affirm into the world I would like to be able to release Starbucks soon and not have to have a survival job anymore. But it has also served me and given me a lot of stability in the year of COVID when people's lives were falling apart. So I can be in acceptance of where I'm at and eager for more at the same time, and that's the sweet spot.
Accepted and ready for more. Yes, and yes, and
Yes,
you like New
and
York. I like New York City better than LA, but I like California better than New York State.
mm. You know, that's a tough question to answer because there are things that I love about both cities and I don't have a preference. Like New York City definitely felt like a chapter in my life, and I think a lot of that has to do with yes, career stuff, but also weather and geographic space. I like physical space more for me, so I feel like LA is a better fit for me. And the longer that I've been in LA, like New York City, most people in LA are not actually from LA. So the shit that we hate about LA are oftentimes like the native people that are from Los Angeles. But like so many New Yorkers live in LA. So like you can find really down to earth people in Los Angeles now because everybody moves here. But I also do feel like there is that like natural East Coast thing. You know what, Jackie, tell me if you've ever felt this at a comedy show. You've performed comedy in New York City, right?
Yeah,
Like one
that's
of the
where I
things I observed the
started.
most.
That's where I
Oh
started.
yeah, New Yorkers are much more vocal, and I love that. Like LA people, they appreciate it just as much, but they're more conservative about how they share their appreciation. And
Right.
I like in New York, well, I would get up and say a joke, and New Yorkers would be like, stand up and be like, say that shit. Oh, you preaching today? Yes, girl, yeah. In LA, they're like, that's so good, that's so good, that's really good. You know what I mean? And you can't hear them, and you're like I love
Hence,
that New Yorkers get up and they let you know that
hence
they are enjoying
New
themselves.
York, New York, New
New
York,
York, New
New
York.
York, New
So I
York.
really love that.
Yeah.
I used to actually do a bit in my stand-up about Trash Day. I also feel like is really indicative about how different the two cities are, and like in New Yorkers, there's no socioeconomic distinction on trash day. Like what you could be on the Upper East Side and make $1 gazillion, and you just put a bunch of trash out on the street on a Wednesday, not even in cans, like just
Yeah.
bags of trash on the street, and it smells like piss and homelessness and apathy. Even on the Upper East Side, whether or not, or you could be like in the ghetto and it's the same thing. Like it's like the
Right.
great equalizer, trash day in New York City,
Right.
And in LA, it's like everything has got to be like categorized and these little reference, and there's a brown trash can and a pink and a green trash can and a blue trash
Right.
can, and they have to be 18 inches away from the curb, and if anything is hanging outside of the trash can, they won't take the trash. And like there are all these rules about even the trash in LA, and I was
Right.
like,
In New
it's
York.
very like things are
Yeah.
much more in a box in LA.
When
Like
I
you got to
when
eat.
I first moved to New York, I was visiting there from Philadelphia. I lived in Philly for a little while, all over the place. And when I was visiting New York to move there, I kept being like to my wife, I was just like, why do we keep coming on trash day? And then it was just like, oh, every day is trash day. I'm like, it's trash day again. Like at least 4 times I went
It's
there. I was just
trash.
like, it's trash day again. It took me a long time to realize it's just every day.
It really is. And the trash, observing the trash in New York, like one time I saw a whole set of lawn chairs on trash day in New York, and I was like,
Where did those come from?
Nobody has a lawn here. Fuck.
Maybe they were on their roof.
Confused.
Speaking of the Cecil, you got to watch the Cecil.
Yeah. Oh, I used to have a dog in New York City and the salt on the roads when it was. Is that what you're talking about? The salt from the
No.
snow? A different. Maybe we're talking about something else. That always
Yeah.
bothered me because it hurts their little paws. And they step on the
Oh,
salt, like the salt that's
yeah.
on them. Yeah.
Rita wants you to put up her comments.
Oh shit. Sorry, girl.
I would do. I couldn't. They won't let me do it.
Did I miss it? It's not letting me scroll all of this.
They must have given up on being able to use them. I wonder what that was about.
Wait, will you speculate, Rita? What does that mean?
They must have given up on being able to use them.
If I
Garbage
get
man?
type
If I get any work type opportunity, I'm definitely a goner. Meaning coming, moving here.
You're
moving here, Rita. We got you. We got you.
Oh, here we go. This is the original question. I think I just read it and didn't post it. You like New York more than LA. That's what prompted this whole discussion, but I didn't realize that I didn't actually post the comment. Dun, 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 the lawn chairs. That's funny. I know. I don't understand. Dude, the other thing I do love about New York is how much they think outside of the box. One time I saw this guy took a futon that he had found on the side of the street, took that shit on the subway, and then the funniest part about it is there were no seats on the subway, so he opened that futon, sat on the futon on the subway, and allowed other people to sit on the futon in the interest of space. Clearly this was before coronavirus, but
and people sat on
this is amazing. Like, he clearly was going to be on the train for a while. Like, I think he lived in Bushwick or something, you know? So I was like, he settled in. He was like holding up that futon, like with the mattress, like all crunched. And he was like, fuck this. And when a bunch of people got off that car, it was like at a main subway station. I don't remember, where everybody gets off before everybody gets on. It was probably like 34th Street or something. And so he, in that window of opportunity where people were exiting, he just put the futon down and then let other people sit on it.
Did you ever sleep on a futon?
New York does have the best and most versatile restaurants. Although, what is happening with restaurants right now in New York? I was wondering that because in LA, like, they've only allowed for outdoor dining, but it's 65 degrees here. So, like, what's happening in New York? Like, are they just doing
heat lamps?
Heat lamps.
Propane and flour are the big thing of propane and flour are the big sellers from COVID.
Yeah, restaurants in New York, I definitely think are better. I got to give them that. You know, there are good restaurants here in LA, but they're harder to find. You got to dig. I think New York City is more concentrated, and there's like restaurant row and restaurant culture, whereas LA, in general, here's what I noticed about LA. Because LA is not really a city, it's a county. I mean, it is a city, but it's a county. Like, if you're in Santa Monica or Venice or Long Beach or Calabasas, you're still in LA, technically, you know? So it's just more spread out. So, like, if you want to, like, have a rockin' restaurant experience, you can't just walk down one street in LA and have that experience. But you can find a lot of good restaurants. You just got to drive 45 minutes between them. That's not convenient.
Yeah.
But then, when I have a breakdown, like, I've had a lot of breakdowns in the last year during quarantine. I don't know about you, Jackie. When I can get in a car with tinted windows and roll that shit up and fucking crank up Adele and cry profusely on a bad day while I'm commuting to work, I love that. In New York City, if I was crying on a subway car and having an existential crisis with Adele in my earphones, people would come up to me or people would turn away and feel all uncomfortable because I'm fucking crying publicly on a subway. So, like, you can't suffer publicly as well in New York City as you can in LA.
Ah, that's true.
Right? Think about it. Like, you can lose it in the car in LA. Or if somebody pisses you off and you have road rage, you can be like, you motherfucker. And, like, you
can't do that on the subway.
You can't do that on the subway.
Do that on the subway.
You can't. And people do some asshole moves. They push you out of the way. They take a seat. You'll see a pregnant woman, 9 months pregnant, and some guy fucking with his legs wide open sitting on the seat. Like, not good enough for the pregnant woman. And it's like, you want to kill somebody.
Wait,
you can't say anything.
We disagree about something, Renee.
Uh-oh.
I hate Adele. I like her fast songs, but her sad songs, I'm just like, oh my God.
I
Like
know, it's a little slit your wrist.
it's too much. My friend, when Hello first came out, my friend was like a tough woman. Like she's a
Mm.
badass. And she came over to my house and she was like, Jackie, Hello, it's so good. I had to pull over the side of the road. I cried and called my ex. And I was just like, what is this song? And I put it on and was like, it's not doing anything. But she was like watching me.
Mm.
So I was like, oh, maybe it's because she's watching me. And then it was on Saturday Night Live. It was everywhere, that song. And I'm just like, what does it matter with me? Like I hated that song.
I feel that way about a few of her songs. Yeah,
I
like
felt
Someone
like it
Like
was
Me.
really,
I'm like, Someone Like Me literally makes me want to die inside every single time.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just like, ugh. It feels like, I don't know. I don't understand people that purposely want to feel bad.
Yeah, like to go out of the way to feel bad. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tough, but Adele serves her purpose. One time I was doing stand up and it like this sometimes I'm inspired and I saw these two people broke up literally during my show, Jackie, like full on like fucking vodka thrown on the other guy, like stormed out and I was on stage. Like it was the middle of my set. So I had that moment where I'm like, I can't not talk about this. Like this just full on happened. And then the girl just sat there all despondent and my instinct, I don't know why this just came out of me and it like looked bad. And I was like, ooh, you guys just broke up, yeah? And I'm like, on a scale of 1 to Adele, how bad was that?
Yeah, that's great. That's
You
great.
know, and it like became this gold, and then people asked me to do this Adele joke, and I was like, and I parody Adele's Hello, and I call it Hello from the Jersey side, and it's about being priced out of all 5 boroughs, Rita, and
I
how I
love
had to
that.
live in Jersey.
That's great.
You should check it out on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I think it says New York City set or something like that. If you're so inspired to go to my YouTube channel, I
Yes.
do parody that song there.
That's
It's
funny.
not in my special because I couldn't get the rights for the song. So if you go check my special, my Adele parody is not. Because I didn't want to spend 10 grand to get the rights for the song.
No
So it's
way.
only on my
No
YouTube channel.
way. So we don't completely disagree, but that's fine. It's good for us to disagree sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like we could have it. What other
I
things did we
love
disagree?
from
Let's
the
find another topic we disagree on, Jackie.
okay.
Yeah.
Let's find
What
out.
do you think is something we disagree on?
Maybe sports. Do you watch televised sporting events?
I do. Do you? Oh, this is great. Yeah, let's bring this up. I'm totally a typical lesbian in this way. Like, I love me some sports. I used to have fantasy football teams, fantasy baseball teams. I did in the last
I
couple
like
of
playing
years.
sports. I love playing sports.
But you
I
don't
play
like sports?
basketball. I have a basketball and a football and a tennis racket. I like playing them, but I hate televised sporting events.
I feel like you and I should have like a one-on-one like basketball match. Or you
Let's
know what?
do it.
Ping pong. I'm fucking stellar at ping pong.
I am too. I'm mad. Did I tell you already? Across the street from me, there's a restaurant that it's like a sports bar, and outside they had a ping pong table, but they took it out because of COVID to make more seating.
Why? That's the best social distancing sport ever. You're
But to make
clearly
more
6
room in
feet
the
apart.
make more room in the beer garden for seating.
I get it.
But I'm so mad. I love going over there and just playing ping pong.
I feel like we should do a show where you and I just play ping pong.
Yeah.
We'd have to find a ping pong
Table tennis.
Table tennis. Anybody else play table tennis? Oh, Rita stayed in a boutique hotel in LA and couldn't believe you. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. Oh, back to that conversation, the cost of living. Can I just tell you guys, in full transparency, I lived in Park Slope, Brooklyn, my last year in New York City. I paid $2,100 a month for an apartment there. And it was a cute apartment, but like, and that was cheap. Like people were like, wow, you're getting a deal, Renee. That's great. $2,100. That's a fucking deal. Moved back to LA. Like you can get an apartment that big with like an avocado tree and a pool, a lap pool and all of this space for like $1,400 a month for a single here. And so like people can also have cars and like, so I mean, that was huge. I'm like, my quality of life as far as like what my sanctuary looked like in LA, like when I go home and I shut my door, like that's my sanctuary. And so like, I understand real estate in New York City and you want to be able to live in New York, but like when I close my door, I need to have a full apartment. When I close my door, it shouldn't trip over the kitchen sink and the bathtub when I'm shutting the fucking door. You know what I'm saying? I want to close the door and then have space to stretch. I want to do yoga in my living room.
Yoga in your living room, Tay. Tay, I tried table tennis and it didn't go well. Uh-oh. Was there another
Uh-oh.
person?
What happened? Was there another person, Tay?
You have to have another person for it.
That helps. Or no, you can put the thing up. You know when you put half the table up and then you can just put
Oh,
another split
right.
half
Never
over.
mind, Tay. You're right. You're right, Tay. You can play it by yourself.
There's a lot of things you can do by yourself, Tay.
Ooh, I like that. Now I want to go play by myself. Ding, 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 ding. So we should talk about we were in movies. Rita, did you like our movies? Oh, does she have to go?
Did she? Did she though?
So yesterday for Valentine's Day,
She's got to go. We love you, Rita.
hi Rita, we love you. Come again.
We'll be back soon. You'll know. Come to our Facebook pages.
Yeah.
Okay, go, Jackie.
We were on Andrew Meyerson's Valentine's Day extravaganza on the same day, and both in movies. How does it happen?
Yeah. This is why we have to tie this into this conversation. We started this episode of Never Normal, but this is partly why we were so inspired to even do this vlog together, because we kept accidentally falling into each other's lives. It started with recording our specials, our albums in Seattle, like back-to-back days where I was like staying in the condo, and then the very next day Jackie was arriving. Like coincidentally, when we had done a Showtime special years before together, it was just, yeah, it kept happening. A lot of alignment. One day we're actually going to be in a film together.
Together,
Put
yeah.
that out into the universe. Dun, dun,
Both
dun.
topless. The best too is that I thought that you lived on a yoga and I was like, good for her, rich parents helping her. And meanwhile, you had three jobs working 9 years.
I know, and I grew up on welfare as a foster kid. Like you were way off.
I was not right. I was just like, good for her.
But I love that.
That was before I had that was before I had a program. You know, I wasn't sober yet, but that was
Totally.
So that was my attitude then. Like you don't know that. You don't know that, Jackie.
It's hard to not assume that though. I do the same thing sometimes. Like I have these moments where even like in my artist community where I'm like, you know, I'm 40 and I've had to streamline my finances this year because of COVID, and like there'll be these like 20 somethings that are like paying the same rent as me, and I'm like, oh, they just have like rich parents or the trust fund, and I'm like, Renee, stop. You do not know their journey. Like stop. That's all your disease. You're being
you do not know the journey. We don't know your journey, you know ours.
I don't know, I'm singing Tina Turner now.
We don't need to know the way home. All we want, I love Tina Turner. And who else? All we want is to be on the Thunderdome. Your movies were awesome. Thank you, Tay.
Thank you, Tay. We had a lot of fun doing them. And you know why our movies were awesome? Because our directors were excellent to work with. You had a different director than me. And you've worked with her a bunch of times, right? You also did Foxy Merkins and Wild Nights with Emily, right?
Yes. And the Foxy Merkins, yeah. Guess who co-wrote? I co-wrote the Foxy Merkins.
I did not know that. Look at that. Everybody watch Foxy Merkins. Do you want to tell people how they can get stuff?
The Foxy Merkins is on Amazon. Wild Nights with Emily is on Hulu. And Codependent is Amazon and iTunes. Codependent Lesbian Space Alien Seek Same.
That's the movie that screened yesterday at Andrea's event. That was really awesome. And my film, One Way Street, my film hasn't been widely released, but if you go to All Out Productions, which is Andrea's website, I believe there's a link for it. I hope I'm not misinforming you, but you can also attend Women on the Net screenings. It screens pretty frequently. So on any of those like private events, it doesn't have like big distribution yet. So.
Wait, Tay, you saw our movies too?
Yes, she was there. She was at the
marathon. I love Tay. Thanks, Tay.
Yeah, isn't that cool? She supported us.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tay.
Thanks, Tay. They saw our movies.
Your movie was so cute.
So
I love my movie, and not just because I'm in it. I actually thought it was cute. It's not like this like riveting, life-changing kind of film, but it's a really, really cute story.
It's really cute.
Getting started, that was great.
Yeah.
Getting Started also hasn't been distributed yet, and I don't want to blow up Andrea's movie before she's ready to, but it really spoke to queer people with disabilities, which like just hasn't really had a platform. And so congrats to Andrea for giving it a platform. It was really an amazing film. Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Anyway, we're at 50 minutes today. Can you believe this? So
Don't buy
Jackie,
so fast.
it did go by so fast. It always does. That means that we love each other.
We do.
Love is in the air.
Love, exciting.
So, we will not be here tomorrow because we're never normal. This is the last episode of season 1. So you will see us not tomorrow, but the following Tuesday at 3 p.m. We're launching some new ideas. We also may be shifting our time slot, so stay on board to hear here on my Facebook page. And Jackie, we're gonna have to figure out how to get this on your Facebook page too, since you have more fans than me.
I do. I got it on today, I think.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, I think I did.
Maybe
Also,
that's why we're here.
I wanted to say, shoot. Oh, we want you guys to come up with questions. Tay and Rita, send us questions for us to answer and ideas, like Renee said, that you would love for us to do or talk about topics. And tell us why you're not normal. What you think is never normal about yourself.
I love that.
And we'll do and we'll say what we did that week that isn't normal. Not that I don't think anybody should be normal. That's why we're never normal.
Yeah, that's why we want to know what makes you not normal, because we're celebrating not normalizing certain things. Although we do need to normalize age. Whatever. It's a different conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah, let us know. And for those of you that are not here live, this replays, so feel free to like watch this back or share it later. It doesn't expire. It stays on my page. So you can also go to my YouTube channel and comment there. There's no expiration for these Never Normals, and we're like 18 episodes in. So if you really feel like binge watching a lot of Renee and Jackie, you can watch us for 18 hours, but don't let us know that you did, because then we'll be scared you're stalkers.
You want it, you got it, a stalker. We don't mind stalkers, the good ones, not
the ones that don't, not the Night Stalkers ones, not
only
the ones that will kill
stalkers.
us.
Only they're not stalkers.
Dun, dun, dun. Jackie Monahan, I love you. Enjoy the rest of your week. I will see you next week.
I love you. I love everybody.
Bye. Thanks everybody for being here.
We're all miracles.
We're all miracles.